Bomber Baseball is back on the airwaves as we welcome you to Gutch's Lumber Baseball Complex in Cortland, New York for a neutral site battle between the Bombers of Ithaca College and the Soaring Eagles of Elmira College. Ithaca serving as the home team in this one. I'm Eli Fishman, your eyes and ears for today's ball game as Ithaca comes into this one 2-2, playing their first game in the Northeast after a trip this past weekend down to Long Island, playing in Washington, Pennsylvania the prior week, sweeping this weekend in 2 games between Mount St. Vincent and U.S. Merchant Marine. And the Soaring Eagles entering today 4-3, a midweek battle between these two squads. On the mound for the Bombers is Jack Picazzi, the freshman right-hander, getting his warm-up pitches, and here is the lineup that he will oppose for the Elmira squad. Caden Bolt leads it off in center field. Brett Warden hits second. He's the shortstop. Eric Charnetsky is the first baseman hitting third. Matteo Salvetti in right field doing the cleanup. Nick Lees is the designated hitter. He hits fifth. Nathan Ofalt is in left field hitting sixth. Brian Jimenez, the third baseman, manning the hot corner and hitting seventh. Jacob Parker doing the catching and hitting eighth. And Gabe Fellows at second base for the Soaring Eagles of Elmira College. Nicholas Miller is on the mound as we get you set for baseball. Bolt getting ready to step in. Warm-up pitches being completed by the freshman Picazzi, and we are almost set to get underway here. Stepping into the right-handed batter's box, it's Caden Bolt, the center fielder for the Soaring Eagles, in the first base dugout in the all-purple tops with the Soaring Eagles logo on the left side of the uniform, and yellow numbers and letters with pinstripe pants. For the Bombers, it's the road grays with Bombers across the chest, and Ithaca in blue lettering and gray pants. And the first pitch is going to be inside and off the lower body of Bolt, a hit batsman. First pitch thrown in this ball game by Picazzi, and we're underway. Runner on first base for the Soaring Eagles, and that brings up Brett Warden, the shortstop, hitting .350 on the young season. Bolt with a solid lead over at first base as Picazzi takes a peek over, kicks and fires. First pitch runs inside, and that one off the back leg of Warden. A hit batsman, 2 straight to start off this ball game for the freshman on the first 2 pitches in his collegiate debut. So runners on first and second, and Eric Charnetsky steps up to the plate. The opportunity to do some damage against the freshman from Hatfield, Pennsylvania, in his first college start. From the set, kicks and deals first pitch, fastball well away in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch thrown that doesn't deflect off the pinstripe bottoms of the Elmira uniforms. And it's 1-0 on Charnetsky, the first baseman, who's got a pair of homers on the young season for Elmira. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner to even it up at 1-1. Charnetsky hitting .381 with homers versus Valley Forge and Wells. As Picazzi peers over to second base, comes home with the 1-1. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner. And it goes 1-2. Picazzi looking to battle back. Runners on first and second here in the top of the first, after a back-to-back hit batsman to start off this game. As Picazzi looks at the runner, kicks and fires, comes home, fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Charnetsky goes down looking, out number 1, first punch out of the day for Picazzi. And that brings up the cleanup man in the Elmira order, Matteo Salvetti. In from the right-handed batter's box against the righty in Picazzi, who steps off the mound to compose himself. Looks back Bolt at second base, who's got a big lead. Peers at him again as he comes set. Now looks home, comes home. The first pitch is just low for a ball on the fastball, out of the hand of the freshman, and it's 1-0. Salvetti 4 for 25 at the plate to start the season, scoring 9 runs as the Soaring Eagles off to a 4-3 start. Picazzi looks, fires, runners off on the pitch. Throw down at third base is not in time. And earning himself a stolen base is Caden Bolt. Warden wasn't off on the pitch. He stays at first base, so it'll be runners on the corners and 1 out. And a 2-0 count on Salvetti. Behind the plate for the Bombers, Tyler Pugliese, the junior transfer Throw was not quick enough to get the runner going to third base. Runners on the corners now with one out. Picazzi's 2-0. Fastball just inside. And it's 3-0. After some early command troubles for Picazzi on the first two pitches that he throws in the game, hitting Elmira batters. Now it's 3-0 with one out, runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Salvetti, the cleanup man. 3 free 90s allowed in the inning, and the bases are loaded for the 5-man in the order in Nick Lees, the designated hitter for Elmira, who's already got 3 homers on the season, including a huge day in the last game for Elmira, which came against Cortland, a top 25 team in the nation. And that was a close game, 10-4, but 2 of the runs were provided by the bat of Lees. As the first pitch is fastball, nips the inside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. Lees went 2 for 3 in that game with a pair of homers against the Red Dragons. Picazzi's 0-1. Check swing, and getting a piece of the medal of Lees. Goes all the way to the backstop of the foul ball. Just like that, 0-2. With the bases loaded and one out here in the top of the first. Elmira looking to get their first runs on the board here in the first frame. Picazzi sets and fires. Fastball was elevated at the top of the zone. It's fouled behind home plate and out of play. Over the netting here at Gutchess Lumber Complex in Cortland. Bombers serving as the home team in this one. Away from Freeman Field. Here's the 0-2 to Picazzi. Breaking ball. Called strike 3 on the low outside corner. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, as that is the second out, both coming looking to the 3 and 5 man. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs, and Picazzi looking to get out of the jam. With the bases loaded, he'll face the 6th man in the order in Nathan O'Fault, the left fielder, in from the left-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch. Fastball called a strike on the outside corner. In the field for the Bombers, left to right in the outfield, Fabo, Feeney, and Shishati. On the infield, Fabian at third, Rothstein at short, McDonough at second, Laney at first, and doing the catching is Pugliese. Is the 0-1 from Picazzi. Just outside to even it up at 1. Looking to get out of the jam is the freshman in his first collegiate outing, first collegiate start. With the bases loaded and 2 outs. Gives the nod, comes set. Here's the 1-1 offering. Fastball called strike at the bottom of the zone. And 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Picazzi hit the first 2 batters of this game on 2 consecutive pitches. A strikeout, a walk, a strikeout. He's got the opportunity to get out of it. The 1-2. Fastball up and away to even it up. Bolt off of third, Warden off of second, Salvetti off of first. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Picazzi sets and fires the 2-2. Slider upstairs, and it's full. Big pitch here, and as much of a start as the runners can get, they will get. So a huge pitch coming with 2 outs. Full count. Bases juiced. O'Fault in the lefty batter's box. Picazzi's payoff pitch with the bases loaded. Fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. O'Fault rung up looking. Strands 3 runners on base after a pair of hit batsmen and a walk in the inning. 3 strikeouts get the freshman out of his first collegiate inning, and still zeros on the scoreboard as we head to the bottom of the first between the Bombers and the Soaring Eagles. But we're going to keep it right here as Nicholas Miller will toe the mound for Elmira, getting set to get his warm-up pitches in. And here is the lineup that Miller will oppose on the Bomber side. Colin Feeney leads it off. He's the center fielder. Louis Fabo is the left fielder. He hits second. Matt Curtis, the designated hitter, hitting third. Matt Fabian Doing the cleanup and manning the hot corner, Colin Chisciatti in right field, hitting 5th. Camden Laney is the first baseman, hitting 6th. Tyler Pugliese is the catcher, hitting 7th. Ethan Rothstein, the shortstop, hits 8th. And rounding out the order is Ethan McDonough. He's the second baseman. We already saw Picazzi on the mound, getting 3 strikeouts in his debut. And on the mound, Nicholas Miller for Elmira. In his second season, the sophomore at 6'3", 235 from New Hartford, New York, makes his second appearance of the season. He faced Albright on the 25th of February, going 3 innings, allowing 3 runs on 4 hits with 3 strikeouts. And looking to get back in the win column here are the Soaring Eagles. Pitched in 6 games last year, totaling 4 innings, 7 runs allowed, and a strikeout for Elmira, and he gets the midweek nod. Looking at the defensive alignment for Elmira. Left to right in the outfield, it's Ofalt, Bolt, and Salvetti. On the infield, left to right. At third base is Jimenez. Shortstop is Brent Warden. The second baseman is Gabe Fellows. And the first baseman is Eric Charnetsky. Doing the catching for Miller is Jacob Parker. As Colin Feeney digs into the left-handed batter's box to get a set in the bottom of the first. No score after 3 strikeouts in the top of the frame from Jack Picazzi. As Miller peers in, gives the nod, and fires home the first pitch here in the bottom of the first inning. Off speed, low and away to make it 1-0 on Feeney, who's 1 for 14 to start the season. Had a hit in the first game of the year against Mount Union. Here's the 1-0. Fastball in the dirt. Bounces off the turf. Goes 2-0. 4 games started for the junior center fielder. Starting all 4 for Ithaca, who are 2-2 on the year. Coming off a Sunday sweep of Merchant Marine and Mount St. Vincent. As Miller kicks and fires. 0-2 fastball at the top of the zone, just upstairs. And it's 3-0 to the leadoff man, Feeney. Bombers dropped their first 2 of this season on Sunday, February 25th against Mount Union in Case Reserve, as the 3-0 fastball low and away for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Feeney, and the leadoff man for the Bombers is on here in the bottom of the first. Bombers dropped the first 2 of the season out in Pittsburgh, then this Sunday down in Long Island, wins over Mount St. Vincent and Merchant Marine by 18-3, the run differential over the course of the 2 games on Sunday. As Louis Fabo digs in from the righty batter's box. Pickoff attempt over at first, and that one's going to be an errant throw, roll all the way down the line towards the bullpen. Looking to go first to third is Feeney. He slides in head first at third base. So goes first to third on the error on Miller, who throws it over the head of the first baseman, Charnetsky. And just like that, a runner 90 feet away for the Bombers with Fabo in from the right side. Hitting .471 on the young season. He's 8 for 17 over the first 4 games for the Bombers. As Miller comes home with the first pitch. Fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Goes 0-1 on Fabo, who homered in the first game of the season for the Bombers against Mount Union in an 11-7 loss for the Bombers. With Feeney 90 feet away on third base. No outs at the bottom of the first. A breaking ball, sits back on it, drives it sky high into shallow right field. It's going to be the second baseman going out to make the play in Fellows. Not nearly enough for Feeney to tag. And a fly ball to second base for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Brings up Matt Curtis, the sophomore DH, and the 3-hitter, and from the righty's batter's box. As Miller sets, peers over at third, delivers the first pitch. Fastball just upstairs. Checking his swing is Curtis. Yes, he did. So it goes 0-1. Curtis 6 for 13, starting the last 3 games for the Bombers to start the season. Good for a .462 average. 4 games in for the Bombers. As the 0-1, breaking ball in the dirt in the lefty's batter's box, smothered by Parker doing the catching of Miller today. And it's 1-1. Feeney dancing off third base. There's the 1-1 to Fabo. Fastball called strike at the low outside corner, scrapes the zone. And it goes 1-2. Here with one out and a runner on third in the bottom of the first, still scoreless between the Bombers and the Soaring Eagles. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, no chase from Curtis. Curtis, the sophomore, earning playing time throughout the infield last season, about halfway through his freshman campaign. As the 2-2 offering, fastball outside, and after going down 0-2 early, Curtis, the three-hitters, worked the count full with a runner on third base and one out. Big 3-2 coming. Here it is. Breaking ball skied into shallow left center field. O'Fault coming in on it towards the gap, makes the play, he's under it. Feeney tagging, the throw home is not in time. Sliding safely head first at home, no tag applied, is Feeney. First run on the board for the Bombers comes in the form of the sacrifice fly by Matt Curtis for his 6th RBI of the season, leading the team 4 games into the season. Feeney scores his 3rd run of the year, and Matt Fabian, the cleanup man, digs in from the right side. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Fastball in the dirt, first pitch to Fabian, makes it 1-0. Fabian starting all 4 games for the Bombers so far in the season, hitting .235, but coming off a strong weekend down in Long Island. As the 1-0. Fastball drilled foul down the right field line, out of play. Fabian went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs in Game 1 on Sunday for the Bombers against Mount St. Vincent down in Kings Point. As Miller rocks and fires 1-1, and breaking ball slips out of his hand and hits the backside of Fabian, who will take his base after 2 hit batsmen in the top of the frame by Picazzi on the Bombers side. Now Fabian takes his base. 2nd free pass allowed by Miller of the inning after Feeney walked and came around to score on the sac fly. That brings Shishati into the right-handed batter's box with a man on first and 2 outs. First pitch Shishati sees is a called strike with the fastball in the outside corner. Shishati 4 for 17 to start the season. Tripled in Game 1 of the year versus Mount Union. Here's the 0-1 to Shishati. Fastball away. Count now even at 1s with Fabian off of first base after being hit by the pitch. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Bombers on top after the sac fly from Curtis. Here's the 1-1 to Shishati. Rolled on the left side of the infield, just to the left of the third base bag, and foul. Jimenez clamoring for the ball. Trying to make the backhand play. Just a few feet foul to go 1-2. Shishati, the Liberty League leader in batting average last season among qualified candidates with a .489 percentage. As Miller comes set, peers over to first, comes home with the 1-2, and that's drilled down the right field line over the Elmira bullpen, out of play to stay 1-2. Defensive hitting on the fastball at the top of the zone from Shishati to stay alive. As Miller comes set with the black glove at the waist. Now comes home with the 1-2 breaking ball, and Shishati got a piece on it. Bottom of the zone, that one almost bouncing on home plate, but able to get a bat on it and squib it just a couple of inches down the right field line. Stays 1-2. As Miller peers in, gives the nod to Parker, and sets with Fabian off of first. 2 outs. And the 1-2. Fastball at the top of the zone. Shishati leaves it up to even it at 2. Shishati last season with a .535 on base percentage, leading the Liberty League. There's the 2-2 with 2 outs. Breaking ball, got a piece of it, fouls it off the backstop on a couple of hops, and it stays right there. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. It's Still only a 2-2 count. Strong defensive hitting in this at-bat to stay alive from Shishadi. As Miller sets, delivers, runner off on the pitch, breaking ball inside, foul down the left field line off the facing of the Bombers' dugout on the third base side. And it stays 2-2. At-bat will extend. Fabian was off on the pitch. No stolen bases yet on the season for Fabian. As with 2 outs, a 2-2. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. Fastball upstairs, and Shishadi's worked the count full. Well, throughout the course of this at-bat, we see why he had a .535 on-base percentage last season. A tough guy to strike out. Tough guy to get anything in the zone behind. 3-2, runner goes. This one skied into shallow center field. Coming in is Bolt, and he's under it to make the play and retire the side. 1 run comes in for the Bombers on the sacrifice fly by Curtis. No hits in the inning. 1 runner left on base as we head to the top of the second. 1-0 Bombers lead on Bomber Sports. Back at the top of the second, 1-0 lead for the Bombers after the sacrifice fly from Matt Curtis. And it'll be 7-8-9 due up for the Soaring Eagles against Jack Bacazzi, the freshman on the mound, who allowed three free passes on 2 hit batsmen and a walk, but struck out 3 to get out of the top of the first unscathed. As Jimenez in from the right-handed batter's box, and the first pitch inside, just on top of the kneecaps to make it 1-0 on Jimenez, making his second start at third base on the season for the Soaring Eagles as the 1-0. Fastball low and away. Bacazzi hit the first 2 batters of this game on their front legs on the first 2 pitches, then got out of it with 3 stellar strikeouts of the next 4 batters. As the 2-0, fastball upstairs, and it's 3-0. Looking to hone in the command, because obviously, as we've seen, the 3 guys that he hasn't allowed a free pass to, he's dominated with a strikeout. As the 3-0, here's a fastball just low for a ball and a 4-pitch walk to Brian Jimenez to start off the top of the second inning. And Elmira brings their 8-man to the plate in Jacob Parker. Parker from Cicero, New York. The catcher in from the right side with speed and Jimenez off of first. As Bacazzi sets, peers over at first. Lifts the leg, comes home. And the first pitch, big swing and a miss on the fastball on the inner third. Goes 0-1. Leadoff man in the inning on in both the first and the second for Elmira. As the 0-1, fastball low and away. Back pick attempt by the catcher, Pugliese. Tag applied at first base by Laney, but back easily with a head-first slide is Jimenez. And a 1-1 count. As Bacazzi peers in, nods, sets. At the belt, he delivers the 1-1, and the fastball is snubbed on the right side of the infield. It'll be the second baseman, McDonough. On to, looks at second, doesn't go for 2, goes to first as he bobbles the ball, and just in time ahead of Parker for the ground out. Parker's retired McDonough bobbled the ball. Looked like he was going to go for two at first as he was pivoting towards the second base bag to his right. But took a second to corral the ball. Goes the easy way at first. And one out and a runner on second for the 9-man in the order in Gabe Fellows. Second baseman for Elmira with a runner on second base. As Picazzi sets, appears over at second base, twists again, now comes home. And the first pitch low and away with the fastball. Fellows, the transfer from Herkimer Community College, a powerhouse at the JUCO level, transferring over to Elmira, getting his 5th start of the season for the Soaring Eagles. Picazzi sets with the tan glove, peers over at second to Jimenez, now comes home with a 1-0. It's grounded up the middle, just to the left of the second base bag. It's the shortstop Rothstein who shuffles to his left and throws across the diamond just in time for out number 2. Scurrying over to third base is Jimenez. So a runner on third base representing the tying run here in the top of the second inning. With 2 outs in the top of the order, Caden Bolt digs in. Was hit by a pitch on the first pitch of this game by Picazzi and then stranded at third base. Got a stolen base in the inning. With a runner 90 feet away and 2 outs, the first pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball inside. And it goes 0-1 on Bolt, hitting .276 on the year with a pair of RBIs in 7 games for the Soaring Eagles. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just low. Bounced out of the glove of Pugliese. Picks it right back up. Throws it to Picazzi. And not nearly far enough for Jimenez to advance home. 1-1 with 2 outs. Tying run at third base here in the top of the second. And the 1-1 breaking ball just inside. Up towards the helmet, some chin music as Bolt ducks out of the way. And the count goes 2-1. Picazzi delivers. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, chopped foul on the left side of the infield over the third base coach's box, trickling down the line. Even at 2. And again, 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam is Picazzi after he stranded 3 runners on in the first. Walked the first batter of the second inning on 4 pitches. He's at third base. 90 feet away with a 2-2 count. And 2 outs. Here it is. Breaking ball just low for a ball. On the black at the bottom of the zone, and it's full. With 2 outs, Jimenez off third, and Bolt in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the payoff from Picazzi. Fastball grounded on the left side of the infield. It's the shortstop Rothstein who picks it up, shuffles to his left, throws across the diamond, and in time for out number 3. Side retired in the top of the second. 1 runner left stranded on third base as we head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Bombers lead. Back in the bottom of the second, a 1-0 lead for the Bombers in the sacrifice fly from Matt Curtis in the first frame. And 6-7-8 due up for the Bombers, starting off with the freshman Camden Laney into the left-handed batter's box for Ithaca, facing the Elmira right-hander Nicholas Miller, who sets and fires. First pitch is outside for a ball to go 1-0. The Soaring Eagles 4-3 on the season, facing the 2-2 Bombers, who've won their last two. As the freshman Laney takes the 1-0 and fouls it down the left field line over top of the Bombers dugout off the netting and out of play. First start in the career of Camden Laney. Appeared in 2 games so far in the season off the bench, going 0 for 3. So first start, looking for his first hit at the collegiate levels, the 1-1. Breaking ball is lined into left center field, and that's going to be over the head of the left fielder, O'Falt, go all the way to the wall. Big turnaround first, and on his way to second, now on his way to third is Laney. Relay is not in time, no throw. It's a leadoff triple in the bottom of the second inning for the first collegiate hit for Camden Laney. And a runner 90 feet away for the Bombers, just like that. That brings up Tyler Pugliese, the 7-hitter and the catcher for the Bombers, with speed and Laney 90 feet away. Bombers on top by 1 in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Pugliese is a fastball low and away. Goes 1-0 on the Albany transfer, getting his second start in a Bomber uniform. There's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Foul tips it into the glove, rather, of Parker. And it goes 1-1. Pugliese, this is his second start. His first came against Mount St. Vincent on Sunday. Had a big game in his debut. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss at the off speed. And count goes 1-2. Pugliese went 3 for 6, finished a homer shy of the cycle with an RBI on Sunday. Another RBI knocking at the door with Laney 90 feet away. And no outs. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball low and away. No offering from Pugliese, who works it even at 2. As Miller in the righty-righty matchup sets with the glove at the belt. Fires home the 2-2, and it's fouled back out of play. Went with the fastball up and in at the hands of Pugliese, who gets a piece on it. And over the netting, out of play here at Gutchess Lumber Baseball Complex in Cortland, New York. With a runner on third. Here's the 2-2 to Pugliese. Breaking ball in the dirt, spits on it, and has worked the count full. After Miller won the battle early, Pugliese has worked the count full. Bouncing back from 0-2. With a runner on third base, here's the payoff pitch, and it's skied high on the right side of the infield. It's the second baseman, Fellows, drifting towards the first base bag. Now it's the first baseman coming in. Charneski, he can't make the play. It falls in between the two. Sliding home safely is Laney. At second base, trying to make something out of nothing is Pugliese. He's tagged out after he was halfway between first and second when that ball hit the turf. So he gets an RBI out of it as Laney taps on home plate to make it a 2-0 game on the error. Go is in E3, but tagged out at second base is Pugliese. And now 1 out for Ethan Rothstein. In from the righty batter's box with the clear bases, and the first pitch is skied out to deep center field. Bolt going back, warning track, wall, leaps. Did he make that play? Leaped over the wall. He's down in dead center field. Haven't seen if he has the baseball or not. Neither Rothstein can't see either. He's got no idea. He's circling the bases, and that ball's gone. It's a solo homer to dead center for Ethan Rothstein. Bolt collided with the wall, almost robbed a homer. Getting up gingerly at dead center, now on his feet. But a solo homer for Ethan Rothstein to give the Bombers a 3-0 lead. Bolt looks to be all right. Was just shaken up for a moment after he was down. Head coach of Elmira actually was about to come out of the dugout and check on him at center, but waves him off, and just shaken up after colliding with the wall is Bolt. But a 3-0 lead for the Bombers after Rothstein with his first homer of the year, and that brings up McDonough, the 9-man, into the right-handed batter's box. 2 runs already in the inning for the Bombers after the leadoff triple from Laney and the homer from Rothstein. Here's the first pitch. Showing bunt as McDonough pulls back after the breaking ball is well inside. And McDonough spins out of the way. Here's the 1-0. Fastball drilled into right center field. That'll get down for a base hit, maybe more. Cutting it off is the center fielder, Bolt. Wide turnaround first for McDonough. Presses the brakes and heads back to first, where he'll stay right there with a 1-out single. And a runner on first for the top of the order, and the Bombers coming up. It'll be Colin Feeney in from the lefty batter's box. Walked and came around to score on the Curtis sac fly in the first. Now a runner on first for Feeney. And speed with it in McDonough. Here's the first pitch from Miller. It's a fastball called strike at the bottom of the zone. And it goes 0-1. McDonough with his 3rd hit of the season, scoring a pair of runs already on the year. The 0-1. Foul down the left field line. McDonough off on the pitch, but he'll have to pull a 180 and head back to first. Got a good jump on the righty Miller. And it goes 0-2. As Miller peers in, gives the nod, looks over to first base of McDonough, now sets at the belt. He kicks and deals. McDonough off on the pitch, breaking ball, skied down the left field line and out of play over the Bombers' bullpen. And it stays 0-2. Back-to-back pitches, McDonough off, and the foul ball sends him right back to first. As Miller, couple of shakes to Parker. Now he sets in the purple uniform, kicks and fires the 0-2, off speed, swing and a miss for strike 3. Feeney goes down swinging on the changeup, low and away. First strikeout on the day for Miller, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Brings up Louis Fabo, the senior left fielder, with McDonough on first. As Miller pivots, fires, breaking ball away. Big secondary lead for McDonough. But right back to first. A look from Parker. And 1-0 on Fabo. Flew out to second base his last time to the dish. As the 1-0 is skied, foul down the right field line and out of play over the Elmira dugout on the first base side. Giving it a look was Charneski, runs out of room, and it's 1-1. Fabo hitting .471, entering today in 4 games started for the Bombers this season. First team all-conference last year in the Liberty League. There's the 1-1. McDonough off on the pitch, and it's a fastball inside. Skied out to deep left field, ranging back towards the wall. O'Fault just in front of the warning track. Settles under it to make the play and retire the side. 2 runs in the inning on the error, which allowed Camden Laney to score, and the solo homer from Ethan Rothstein. It's 3-0 Bombers as we head to the top of the 3rd. Back in the top of the third, 3-0 Bombers on top as 2-3-4 due up in the Elmira order. 2 runs across in the bottom of the second for Ithaca. The solo homer from Ethan Rothstein after the triple from Camden Laney. He came around to score on an error. As the first pitch to Brett Warden, the 2-man. He's in there for a called strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. As the 0-1 is grounded on the right side of the infield and squeaks through for a base hit off the bat of Warden. And a leadoff single here in the third. Warden reaching base twice today on the hit by pitch and the single. It's the first hit of the day for Elmira. As Warden off of first, Charnetsky digs in from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Grounded left side of the infield. That'll squeak through for a base hit in his 6-hole, just out of the reach of Rothstein. Moving up a station is Warden, and runners on first and second after back-to-back singles for the Soaring Eagles to start off the third. Brings up Mateo Salvetti, the right fielder, walked in his first time to the plate. Now with runners on first and second for the Soaring Eagles, he represents the tying run here in the top of the third. Picazzi peers over to second base, turns his head towards home plate, winds and delivers the first pitch. He's just low and away. Makes it 1-0. Salvetti with 9 runs scored to start off the season for the Soaring Eagles in 7 games. As the 1-0 is chopped left side of the infield. That's Rothstein at shortstop. Throws over to third base and gets the lead runner as Fabian taps on the base ahead of Warden. So runners on first and second now as Salvetti reaches on the fielder's choice. He's on first, Charnetsky on second, and 1 out for Nick Lees. Lees coming off the 2-homer game against Cortland. The DH for Elmira in the righty's batter's box. First pitch is low and away. Picazzi with 3 strikeouts in the first inning, working around a bases-loaded jam, allowing 2 hit batsmen as well as a walk. As the 1-0 chops to the left side of the infield. That's going to be the shortstop Rothstein. On to second for 1, and they're not going to be able to get 1. As bobbling it was the second baseman McDonough, drops the ball. Wanted it on the transfer, but bases are now going to be loaded with the tying run on first, and the go-ahead at the plate for Elmira, represented by Nathan O'Fault. Into the lefty's batter's box. Bases juiced. Salvetti off first. Charnetsky off second. Lees, as the first pitch is a fastball low and away, makes it 1-0 on O'Fault. Here's the 1-0. Waves and misses on the pitch low and away. And it goes 1-1. O'Fault hitting .421 in the season with 6 RBIs for Elmira. As the 1-1 pitch. Fastball at the bottom of the zone and skips in the dirt to go 2-1. O'Fault struck out looking with the bases loaded to end the first inning. Looking for some redemption here. As the 2-1 is skied down the left field line. Giving chase is Fabo towards the foul line. That'll bounce fair. Cutting it off in the corner is Fabo. 1 run home, and getting the stop sign rounding third is Salvetti. He'll stay right there, so everybody moves up a station. Great job by Fabo to cut that ball off down the left field line. But an RBI single for O'Fault. And first run on the board for Elmira. 3-1 the score. They cut the deficit to 2. And the tying run on second base is Brian Jimenez digs in. 4-pitch walk to start off the second. Allowed him to reach base as the first pitch. Breaking ball called a strike on the outside corner. As Picazzi Sets and delivers. 0-1. Breaking ball called strike. Nipping that low outside corner. And it goes 0-2 with one out. Couple opportunities for the Bombers to turn a double play that they couldn't come up with, and now the bases are juiced with one out. Here's the 0-2. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside corner. Fourth punch out of the day for the freshman Picazzi, and he's one out away from yet again escaping a bases-loaded jam. He'll have to face Jacob Parker, the 8-man, who grounded out to second base in his first time to the plate in the second inning. With 2 outs, here's the first pitch. Fastball just low. Makes it 1-0. Parker starting his 4th game of the season behind the plate for the Soaring Eagles. There's the 1-0. Runs inside. Just missing the hands of Parker to go 2-0. Salvetti off third, Lee's off second, Ofault off first. Elmira down by 2 and a prime scoring opportunity. 2-0, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Picazzi. Called a strike on the outside corner. Gets one back, it's 2-1. Bombers looking for their 3rd straight win against Elmira, who's lost their last 2. Here's Picazzi's 2-1. It's dribbled foul towards the would-be on-deck circle for the Bombers on the third base side of the infield. And 2-2. Big pitch coming again from Picazzi. With Fellows on deck, who's hitting .364 in 4 games this season. Bases loaded. 2-2. 2 outs. Fastball upstairs. It's full. And a huge payoff pitch coming from Picazzi. With the bases juiced. 2 outs. And a full count to Parker. Picazzi sets. And fires. Fastball. Called strike 3 on the low outside corner. 5th strikeout of the day for Picazzi. Gets him out of the bases loaded jam. 1 run gotten back by Elmira in the 3rd on the RBI single from Ofault. It's 3-1 Bombers lead as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Back in the bottom of the 3rd, a 3-1 lead for the Bombers over Elmira. 1 run back on the scoreboard by Elmira on the RBI single from Ofault in the top of the frame. And it'll be 3-4-5 due up for the Bombers, starting with Matt Curtis and a new pitcher on the mound. It's Xander Canfield on the bump, the right-hander, and transfer from Casanova for the Soaring Eagles as Curtis digs in from the right side. And the first pitch he sees is a fastball called a strike on the low outside corner. to go 0-1 on Curtis, who got the first RBI of the day for the Bombers with a sac fly in the first, scoring Colin Feeney. As the 0-1 breaking ball is hammered out to deep left field towards the foul pole. Ofault going back towards the wall, reaches up, and it's foul. Just a few feet to the left of the foul pole, right next to the 320 sign in left field. And a long strike makes it 0-2. Just a few feet shy for Curtis of his first homer of the year. And it's 0-2 for Canfield, making his second appearance of the season on the mound for Elmira. Pitched a perfect inning against Valley Forge on the 22nd of February. As the 2-2 fastball upstairs to Curtis. Makes it 1-2. Curtis with 6 RBIs in the season for Ithaca, leading the team through 4 games. Here's the 1-2. Fastball low for a ball. Evens it up at 2. Curtis, the DH today for the Bombers. One of only 2 underclassmen in the Ithaca lineup. As the 2-2. Fastball dribbled down the left field line and foul. Just to the left of the third base bag. Towards the coach's box where Jimenez tried to make a play on it. But even at 2. As Canfield kicks and delivers. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball low and away. No chase from Curtis. And the count goes full. Curtis, an all-conference honorable mention last season as a freshman where he hit .383 in 24 games. Here's the 3-2. Got a piece of it. Dribbles it towards the Elmira dugout on the first base side. And stays alive. So Canfield, as a lengthy at-bat continues, delivers. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball low and away. Curtis swings over it. And one batter faced for Canfield, 1 punch out. Second overall for Elmira on the day. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. As we give you the final line from Nicholas Miller. He goes 2 innings, allows 3 runs, only 2 of them earned on 4 hits with 1 punch out. And it'll be Matt Fabian, the cleanup man for the Bombers, digging in from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball low and away out of the hand of Canfield. Makes it 1-0. Fabian, the grad student for the Bombers. Takes the 1-0. Breaking ball low and away. Fabian from Toronto, Ontario. Takes the 2-0 and dribbles it right back to the pitcher in Canfield, who picks it up to his left, throws on to first just in time. Gloved by Charnetsky, a nice play, almost colliding down the first base line with Fabian. But out number 2, and Shishati will step in. Fourth straight retired by Soaring Eagles pitching. As Shishati digs in. Grounded out his last time to the plate. As the first pitch is chopped on the left side of the infield. Moving to his left and making the play. Throwing across the diamond is Warden. A nice play for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Canfield in his first inning of relief as we head to the top of the 4th. 3-1 Bombers lead. Back in the top of the fourth, a 3-1 lead for the Bombers. After a strong inning in relief for Xander Canfield in the bottom of the third, put the Bombers down 1-2-3. And Jack Picazzi, the freshman, back out on to work. He's got 5 strikeouts as part of 3 innings of 1-run balls. The first pitch is a breaking ball low and away to Fellows, and it goes 1-0. Fellows a ground out to shortstop, his first time to the plate, as the 1-0 is grounded right back to the pitcher in Picazzi. Picks it up, shuffles towards first, and kicks it over to Laney for out number 1. And that brings up the top of the order, starting with Caden Bolt. Picazzi has gotten himself into a couple of early bases-loaded jams, but has worked out of both of them with a pair of strikeouts with the bases loaded. As showing bunt, dropping one down the left field line, and foul towards the Bombers would be on deck circle is Bolt. Pugliese jumped up through the mask off, trying to make a play on it as it was looped into the air, and it goes 0-1. Bolt, a ground out in the second, was hit by a pitch and stole a bag in the first, but was stranded on third base. There's the 0-1. Off the front leg. Second time he's been hit by a pitch in that same spot on a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand of Picazzi. And a one-out base runner for the Soaring Eagles. For the 2-man and Brett Warden. And we mentioned the stolen base for Bolt, too, so good speed for the center fielder off the first base bag. Here with 1 out, and the tying run coming to the plate for Elmira, down by 2 here in the top of the fourth in the form of Warden. All-E8 third team last year for Elmira with a tall stance in the righty batter's box. Picazzi sets. Peers over at first. At the belt, he delivers the first pitch. And it's a fastball inside. Getting a piece of it is Warden. Fouls it off the backstop. And it goes 0-1. Warden hit .306 last season for Elmira. As a pickoff attempt, back with a dive over at first base is Bolt. Tag applied by Lady just behind the slide. Warden with an 0-1 count. First a pickoff attempt again over at first. Close play. Laney tags Bolt on the left shoulder. Shows the ball to the official at second base. But just back in time that time, Bolt. So here's the 0-1. And it's a fastball called a strike on the low outside corner to make it 0-2. Warden was the team leader for Elmira in walks last season with 20. Here's the 0-2. Picazzi delivers. And it's nubbed on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Fabian goes to second base for 1. McDonough on to first, not in time. Just ahead of the throw is Warden, so a fielder's choice as Bolt is erased from the base paths. And 2 outs. Warden and Bolt switch places. And the 3-man Charnetsky digs in from the right side, who had a single and came around to score in the third. The sole run of the day for Elmira, who trails 3-1. First pitch to Charnetsky is a slider called strike on the low outside corner. Goes 0-1. Charnetsky transfer from St. John Fisher, the powerhouse of the Empire 8, as the 0-1. Is a breaking ball sky high into shallow left field. Fabo coming in, going out as the shortstop Rothstein. Who's going to make the play? Colliding in shallow left field is Rothstein and Fabo. Fabo makes the play. More like tripping over Rothstein was Fabo. Both appear to be all right. A nice play by Fabo to retire the side. 1 runner left on base in the inning after a hit batsman. But 3-1, Bombers lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Back in the bottom of the fourth, a 3-1 lead for the Bombers as 6-7-8 due up, starting with Camden Laney, the freshman first baseman who tripled on the second pitch he saw and then came around to score on an error as he leads it off against Canfield on for his second inning of work after a 1-2-3 inning in the third. First pitch to the lefty is grounded right side of the infield to the first baseman, Charnetsky, who bobbles it, picks it up, throws to the pitcher covering Canfield, who steps on the bag. Very nicely done after Charnetsky initially bobbled the ground ball just to his left, and it was a foot race between Canfield and Laney, who was going to get to first base first. And it ends up being Canfield who taps on the bag for the first out, and Pugliese digs in from the right side. Reached on an error his last down to the plate. As the first pitch he sees from Canfield is off-speed low and away, and it goes 1-0. As Canfield rocks and delivers, here's the 1-0. Grounded up the middle for a base hit just to the left of the second base bag. First hit of the game for Pugliese. And the fourth hit of the game for the Bombers. Also snaps his streak of 5 straight retired by Soaring Eagles pitching as Ethan Rothstein, who had the homer to dead center, digs into the right-handed batter's box with Pugliese off of first. Canfield checks on the runner, comes home, first pitch to Rothstein, breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Parker to keep the catcher Pugliese right there. Rothstein, hot start to the season, 7 for 15 to start his campaign. Now with 6 RBIs following the homer. Here's the 1-0. Called a strike on the low outside corner. Evens it up at 1. And Rothstein coming off of a big year last year in his junior season, all-conference first team, all-region second team, starting all 47 games for the Bombers. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball low and away. And it goes 2-1. Rothstein hit .354 with a .992 OPS last season, third on the team in RBIs. As a 2-1 count. Canfield sets, peeks, lifts his leg and comes home. And that one skied high, shallow right field. Salvetti ranges in to make the play for out number 2. Big secondary lead for Pugliese. He retreats back to first, and 2 outs. That'll bring up the 9-hitter for the Bombers and Ethan McDonough, the senior second baseman, who singled in the second. That was the 3rd hit of the game and the 3rd hit of the second inning for the Bombers, where 2 runs came across. Pugliese, after the 1-out single off of first, as the first pitch to McDonough, breaking ball low and away. McDonough, the senior from Southington, Connecticut, had a 2-run single versus Mount St. Vincent on Sunday as the 1-0. Just low for a ball. Make it 2 balls and no strikes. McDonough did not play last season for the Bombers. 50 at-bats prior between his freshman and sophomore year. As the 1-1. Low and away in the lefty batter's box, smothered by Parker, and goes 2-1. With Pugliese off of first and 2 outs, Canfield sets and comes home with a 3-0. Fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. Gets 1 back. With the Bombers on top by 2. Runner on first, 3-1. Here it is. Fastball low for ball 4. And a 5-pitch walk with 2 outs to McDonough will put runners on first and second for the top of the order in Colin Feeney. Heading out to the mound is Parker for a visit with Canfield. The transfer from Cazenovia, a college which shut down this past year. So their whole roster had to find a new home, spread out a lot of them throughout the Empire 8. Canfield coming to Elmira. A whole lot of players from a lot of different schools spread up throughout upstate New York. As Feeney digs in to the lefties' batter's box with runners on first and second. And 2 outs. Puglisi off second, McDonough off first. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Feeney swings over it, goes 0-1. A walk and a strikeout for Feeney. Scored a run back in the first on the sac fly by Curtis. Canfield peeks over at second, delivers the breaking ball call to strike on the inside corner. And it's 0-2. Canfield looking to get out of a jam with an 0-2 count on Feeney. Runners on first and second. Gives the nod to Parker. Sets. At the belt, he delivers the 0-2. Fastball upstairs. No chase from Feeney. Who looks to extend the lead for the Bombers. As Canfield winds and fires. The 1-2 grounded right side of the infield. Diving play by Fellows at second base. On his feet. Throws on to first in time. Great play by Fellows. Diving to his left at second base. Gets up to beat the speedy Feeney for out number 3. Side retired. Taking away probably a run. In addition to letting this inning continue. But 2 runners left on base after 1 hit in the inning for the Bombers. We head to the top of the 5th. 3-1. Ithaca leads. Top of the 4th inning, 4-5-6 for Elmira. 3-1 lead for the Bombers as the first pitch out of the hand of Picozzi is swung on and fouled back to the netting behind home plate by Matteo Salvetti, the cleanup man for Elmira, who's reached on a fielder's choice and walked to start off this game. As Picozzi twists and fires, fastball inside, makes it 1-1. Strong outing for Picozzi so far in his first start and outing at the collegiate level as he swirls a slider on the outside corner to make it 1-2. 4 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 5 punch outs for Picozzi as the 1-2 breaking ball slips inside. Evens it up at 2. The 5 punch outs for Picozzi all coming in the first 3 innings. Here's the 2-2. Fastball just inside. So the count goes full on Salvetti, the right fielder for Elmira. The payoff from Picozzi. Breaking ball just low. And working a strong at-bat is Salvetti. Works his second walk of the day. And the leadoff runner for Elmira is on here in the 5th. Action churning in both the Elmira bullpen on the right field line and Ithaca bullpen down the left field line, as Nick Lees steps in with a runner on first and no outs. Picazzi fires. First pitch fastball low and out. Lees reached on an error and struck out in his first 2 at-bats of the day. Pickoff attempt back over at first, and in with a dive is Salvetti. Laney leaps to keep that ball from going down the left field line. Here's the 1-0 from Picozzi. It's fouled off towards the backstop behind home plate and goes 1-1. Picozzi from Hatfield, Pennsylvania, with a strong first collegiate outing on the mound so far, with a 1-1. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. And it goes 1-2. 5 punch outs already for Picozzi. Pickoff attempt over at first. Back with a dive is Salvetti. Tag applied on the backside by Laney, just behind the dive. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Picozzi, punch out number 6 on the day. Second against Lees. And 1 out here in the 5th. Nathan O'Fall will step up into the left-handed batter's box. Had the RBI single in the 3rd, which provided the sole run of the day already for the Soaring Eagles. He swings and misses through the first pitch. Fastball low and away. Makes the count 0-1 as Picozzi. Pickoff attempt over at first, keeping a close eye on Salvetti, who's a strong base runner for Elmira. As the 0-1. Fastball called a strike at the top of the zone. And it's 0-2. Picozzi. Twists and fires. 0-2. Breaking ball. Big swing and a miss from O'Fall. Goes down swinging. Back-to-back punch-outs in the 5th for Picozzi. His 7th on the day. And 2 outs with a runner on first. Got him with the slider, which has been the go-to secondary early on for Picozzi. As Jimenez into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch from the righty. Big swing and a miss. Goes 0-1. With Salvetti leading off first after the leadoff walk. The 0-1 fouled down the right field line over the Elmira dugout. Already 2 punch outs in the inning. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball low and away. Jimenez has struck out and walked. Representing the tying run. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Puglisi. And Picozzi back to even with Jimenez, spoiling 2 breaking balls in the dirt with a 2-2 count, 2 outs, runner on first. Here it comes, fouled back, and Jimenez stays alive. 2 straight punch outs from Picozzi. He sets. Long pause, delivers the 2-2. Chopped right back up the middle. It'll be the shortstop Rothstein who picks it up, steps on the second base bag to retire the side. 2 punch outs in the inning for Jack Picozzi, who's now got himself 7 shares on the day, and the Bombers lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on Bomber Sports. A 3-1 lead for the Bombers back in the bottom of the 5th on Bombers Sports. 2-3-4 due up for Ithaca, starting with Louis Fabo. Xander Canfield in his 3rd inning of relief gives the nod to Parker. Kicks and delivers. The first pitch in the bottom of the 5th is a fastball called strike on the outside corner to Fabo, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a flyout to left field and second base. As Canfield's 0-1 is shot foul down the left field line off the facing of Ithaca's dugout, and it goes 0-2. The Bombers with 5 hits on the board, highlighted by the solo homer from Ethan Rothstein in the second. Camden Laney with the leadoff triple in the second as well. As the 0-2 is fouled down the right field line over the Elmira bullpen and out of play. Fabo stays alive. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball called. Strike 3 at the top of the zone. Second strikeout for Canfield in relief. Fabo goes down on strikes for the first time today. And Matt Curtis steps up. Curtis, a sac fly and a strikeout. Here's the first pitch from Canfield. Off speed, swing and a miss. 0-1. Curtis playing 4 games this season with 3 starts. He's 6 for his first 13. As the 0-1. Fastball up and in. Evens it at 1. Curtis with 6 RBIs and 3 extra base hits on the young season for Ithaca. As the 1-1 is drilled right back up the middle for a base hit. Skipping it to shallow center field. Bolt picks it up. Wide turnaround first for Curtis. He stays right there, and a 1-out single for Ithaca here in the bottom of the 5th. 6th hit of the day for the Bombers, and Matt Fabian steps up from the right side. Ithaca up 3-1 here in the bottom of the 5th, as Canfield's first pitch to Fabian is a breaking ball in the dirt. Goes 1-0. Fabian 2 for 5 with a pair of RBIs on Sunday as he takes one on the inside corner to even up at 1. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader versus Mount St. Vincent, after Fabian hit .306 with 22 RBIs last year for the Bombers. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets behind the catcher. Parker rolls all the way to the backstop, and scurrying up to second base is Curtis. He advances on the pass ball. A 2-1 count now in favor of Fabian. Canfield has been more than solid in relief so far. 2 1/3, just allowed his second hit in relief with a pair of punch-outs. Looking to work around the one-out single. Canfield sets. At the belt, he comes home with the 2-1, and it's a fastball low and away. 3-1 count now on Fabian with Shishadi on deck. Fabian already reached base today via the hit by pitch in the first. There's the 3-1. Fastball low and away, ball 4. And a one-out walk puts runners on first and second for Colin Shishadi. And that's going to provoke a mound visit on the Elmira side by Anthony Goncalves, the head coach for Elmira. In his third season at the helm. Spent one season as an assistant coach for the Soaring Eagles in 2021 before earning the promotion. Former D3 athlete at Misericordia, where he served in as assistant coach there, plus at Arcadia following his playing career. And he heads back to the first base dugout. As Shishadi digs in. Hasn't reached base, but has put 2 strong at-bats together. The first of which was an at-bat that was over 10 pitches long. Ended up flying out with a full count with runners on first and second and 1 out. Bombers on top by 2. Here's the first pitch to Shishadi. Nubs it foul towards the third base coach's box. Shishadi with a strong campaign last year that we talked about, hitting .489 in 36 total games, including 18 starts in the outfield for Ithaca. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, drives it right back up the middle. It's going to be through for a base hit. Getting the wave around third and scoring is Curtis standing up. That's an RBI single for Colin Shishadi. Second RBI of the season, and the Bombers take a 4-1 lead. Fabian skirts up to second base, and the Bombers still with a big-time scoring threat. 1 out, runners on first and second for the freshman Camden Laney. Tripled in the second inning and came around to score his first collegiate hit. First pitch he sees, breaking ball low and in. Laney, the sole freshman in the starting lineup for Ithaca. Picozzi, the freshman on the mound for the Bombers in this midweek battle against the Soaring Eagles. There's the 1-0. Fastball up and away. Makes it 2-0 on Laney. The freshman from Decatur, Georgia. Here's the 2-0. Grounded down the right field line. That's fair. Skipping over the first base bag. Getting the wave around third is Fabian. He'll score easily. Getting the wave now is Shishadi. Big turn, but he'll pump the brakes in between third and home. In at second base, standing up, is Camden Laney with an RBI double. 5-1. Bombers on top. Back-to-back RBI hits coming from Shishadi and Laney. And 2 runners in scoring position now for the catcher, Puglisi. Infield in here for Elmira rather now just the corners come in. Here's the first pitch, breaking ball low and away. Puglisi reached on an error and singled so far in this one. With Laney off second, Shishadi off third. Good speed on both bags. Here's the 1-0. Nubbed foul towards the Bombers on deck circle where Ethan Rothstein awaits. Puglisi with a 1-1 count, 2 runners in scoring position. Canfield sets and delivers. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss. Over the curveball for Puglisi. 1-2 now. Rothstein already with a solo homer on the day on deck. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball hammered out to deep center field. Bolt taking a few steps back, settles under it in front of the warning track. Tagging from third is Shishadi, and he'll get there without a throw. So a sac fly for Puglisi adds another on the board for Ithaca. They now lead 6-1. And Shishadi scores his 3rd run of the season, and Rothstein will step up with a runner 90 feet away as Laney was able to make his way up to third base. Here with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Rothstein. Breaking ball fouled on the right side of the infield and over the Elmira dugout on the first base side. Rothstein with 6 RBIs in the season. Tied for the team lead now with Curtis. Is the 0-1. He is chopped on the left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman Jimenez. Ranging to his left, throws across the diamond. The stretch by Charneski in time for out number 3. But out before 3 runs come across in the inning, highlighted by the RBI double from Laney and the RBI single from Colin Shishadi. 6-1. Bombers lead as we head to the 6th on Bomber Sports. A gem for Jack Picozzi in his debut on the mound for the Bombers. 5 innings, 1 run on 3 hits with 7 punch-outs as we return here in the top of the 6th inning. 6-1 Bombers on top, and Sean Kelly, the southpaw, onto the mound to relieve Picozzi of his duties after, as we already read the line, a tremendous outing in his first collegiate start coming against Elmira. As Kelly, the lefty, on the bump, facing 8-9 on the top of the order. Up for the Soaring Eagles, starting off with Jacob Parker in from the righty's batter's box against the southpaw, whose first pitch is a fastball nubbed right back to Kelly, who extends the glove, picks it up, runs towards first base before he flicks it overhand to Laney for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kelly. Only 3 hits for Elmira. Ithaca now with 8 after they had 3 in the 5th in a 3-run inning, highlighted by the RBI single from Shishati, RBI double from Laney. As the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to the 9-man Gabe Fellows, who's 0 for 2 on the day. As the 0-1. Fastball called a strike on the low outside corner. Goes 0-2. As Kelly, with the black glove at the belt, comes home with the 0-2, and it's nubbed foul down the first base side off the facing of the Elmira dugout, and it'll stay right there. Kelly, the southpaw, kicks and fires, 0-2, swing and a foul tip into the glove of Puglisi. First strikeout in relief for Kelly, who's retired the first 2 he's faced out of the Bombers bullpen, and 2 outs at the top of the order, and Caden Bolt coming to the plate. It's the 8th pitching by the Bombers staff on the day, following 7 from Picozzi. Here's the first pitch to Bolt, swing and a miss on the fastball. Bolt reached base twice today, being hit by a pair of pitches in addition to a ground out. Here's the 0-1. Fastball skied into shallow left field. Fabo ranging in. He's under it and makes the play to retire the side. Only 7 pitches for Kelly in a 1-2-3 first inning of relief. Bombers lead 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on Bomber Sports. Back in the bottom of the 6th inning, 6-1 the score. Ithaca leading Elmira in this midweek battle at Gutchess Lumber Baseball Facility. New pitcher for Elmira, Kevin McGovern. The junior transfer from Herkimer Community College is the first pitch to Ethan Rothstein. The 8-man in the Bombers' order was a fastball low. McGovern at 6'2", 225, making his second outing with Elmira. Is the 1-0 to Rothstein. Breaking ball in the dirt. Goes 2-0. McGovern threw an inning in the 3rd, allowing 1 hit with 2 earned runs. Did strike out 4, but also walk 4 against Valley Forge on February 22nd. As 2 pitches into his outing, Parker, the catcher, is going to go out for the mound meeting. McGovern, the transfer from Herkimer Community College, the 2021 JUCO National Champion team. Where he was teammates with second baseman Gabe Fellows, both coming over to Elmira. As McGovern rocks and fires the 2-0. It's an off-speed called strike on the outside corner. Here's McDonough in the righty's batter's box. First pitch, or 2-1 rather, called strike on the low outside corner. And the count goes 2-2. At the belt, McGovern winds and deals, breaking ball low and away, it's full. He was down 2-0 and has now worked his way back. Here comes the payoff pitch. It's chopped on the left side of the infield. And ranging to his left is Jimenez, the third baseman. Throws across the diamond. Not in time. McDonough busting it down the line. An infield single. It was just a few steps to the left of Jimenez. Had to cover a lot of ground in the 6-hole to make that play with the glove side. Second hit of the game for McDonough, who's 2 for 2. And that brings up the top of the order, starting with Feeney. Feeney, the lefty, 0 for 2 on the day, showing bunt as McDonough goes. First pitch, a fastball upstairs, pulling back, no bunt, and McDonough easily in at second base, well ahead of the throw from Parker. So a runner in scoring position for the top of the Bombers' order with no outs. First stolen base of the season for McDonough. As the 1-0 is drilled into deep right center field. Now coming in on it is Salvetti. Ranges under it. Now slides to make the play. Tagging from second to third is McDonough. He's in there standing just ahead of the throw. It looked initially like Salvetti was under it. Then tracks in. Then eventually turns on the Jets and lays out in shallow right center. And makes a nice play for out number 1 as McDonough makes it up to third base for Fabo. Fabo 0 for 3 on the day, but 8 for 17 entering today in 4 games this season. Here's the first pitch he sees. Fouls it off behind home plate. Over the netting behind home plate. Between the 4 fields here at Gutchess Lumber Baseball Complex. 0-1 to Fabo. Breaking ball upstairs, slips out of the hand of McGovern. Well, we mentioned it in terms of his numbers entering today for McGovern because he walked 4 and struck out 4 in his first appearance in only an inning and a third. As the 1-1 is laced out to left field, ranging to his right and making the play is O'Fall. Tagging from third home is McDonough in there standing up. And another run on the board for the Bombers. The sac fly from Fabo for his first RBI of the day, 3rd of the season, 6th of the season, I should say. He extends the lead to 7-1 in favor of the Bombers. And now 2 outs and a clean slate for Matt Curtis. Singleton came around to score his last time to the plate in the 5th. Here's the first pitch to Curtis. Off speed, just outside. Curtis into the righty box. There's the 1-0. Is drilled out to deep center field. Bolt ranging back towards the warning track, and he'll settle under it just in front of the wall in dead center to make the play and retire the side. One run comes across in the inning on the sacrifice fly by Louis Fabo. 7-1 Bombers lead as we head to the 7th on Bomber Sports. Bombers tack on another in the bottom of the 6th on the sac fly from Louis Fabo as we head to the 7th. 7-1. Ithaca on top. Sean Kelly back on to work. He'll face 2-3-4 in the Elmira lineup, starting with Brett Warden. And from the right-handed batter's box, first pitch he sees is a fastball in the low inside corner for a called strike. Warden has reached base in all 3 appearances at the plate today. Hit by a pitch, a single, and reached on a fielder's choice as he fouls the 0-1 back. And just like that, 0-2 after Kelly had a 1-2-3 first inning of relief in the 6th with a strikeout of Fellows. Is the 0-2. Fastball laced into right field, and that'll get down for a base hit, skipping a few hops on the turf to Shishadi, who picks it up, chucks it in to prevent Warden from going anywhere else. And a 2-hit day for Brett Warden. It's the 4th hit of the day for the Soaring Eagles, and Eric Charnetsky will step up to the plate. First pitch he sees is a fastball just inside. Charnetsky singled and scored back in the 3rd. The transfer from St. John Fisher. 1-0 is drilled out to deep left field. Ranging back towards the warning track is Fabo, settling it under it on the warning track with his back towards the wall, just to the right of the foul pole, and he makes the play for out number 1. A long fly out, hit a mile high by Charnetsky, who's already got himself a pair of homers on the season. But Fabo tracks it down, and with 1 out and a runner on first base, Salvetti digs in to the right-handed batter's box. First a pickoff attempt over at first. And back with a half dive is Warden in plenty of time. No tag even applied by Laney. Another pickoff attempt. Having a stretch to prevent that ball from going towards the Elmira bullpen is Laney, but keeps it in front. And finally, here comes the first pitch to Salvetti. It's a called strike right down the pipe on the fastball from Kelly, who's retired for 4 of the first 5 he's faced. Here comes the 0-1. It's a sky-high fly ball down the right field line. Ranging in foul ground. Now in fair ground is McDonough. He can't make the play. Throws on to second base, trying to nab Warden. But ahead of the throw is Warden, slides in safely. We'll see how that goes in the scorebook. Probably a single It was probably 30 feet behind the first base bag. Tough play for Laney over his head. McDonough came flying in, but couldn't make the play, and it dropped just to the left of the chalk on the turf. And that'll be the 5th hit of the day for Elmira, as the first pitch to Nick Lees is skied foul down the right field line. So the bloop single with runners on first and second. And one out the 0-1. Fastball outside out of the hand of Kelly. Evens it up at 1. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. Big swing and a miss. And it goes 1-2. Dominance from Kelly out of the bullpen. Unlucky bloop single there. Looking to get some revenge. The 1-2 breaking ball is lined foul off the fencing in front of Ithaca's dugout on the third base side. And it stays right there. Got an uncomfy swing on the inside slider to Lees. Able to get some metal on it and stay alive. As Kelly peers over at second. Shifts his attention back towards home. The 1-2 fouled off the netting behind home plate this time. On the fastball, stays right there. And Lees, who's 0 for 3 on the day, he's struck out twice. Both against Picozzi, who had a lights-out performance on the mound. 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, even at 2 now. And the at-bat extends. Even at 2. With runners on first and second and 1 out, here it comes. Fastball away, and it's full. Looking to evade trouble. Here in the top of the 7th is Kelly, and a big pitch coming here to the 5-man and the power hitter in Lees. Here's the 3-2. Skied high, right side of the infield. Foul ground. Laney ranging over towards the coach's box. He can't make the play. Sky high fly ball in the air for 3 seconds, just waiting to drop down. Laney thought he was under it, just to the right of the first base bag in front of the coach's box. But it bounces off the turf, and another life for Lees. 3-2. Kelly sets. Kicks and fires. The payoff. And that one is grounded sharply to the shortstop. Rothstein picks it up onto second for 1. Onto first in time. 6-4-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend gets Kelly out of a bases loaded 1-out jam. 7-1 Bombers lead. Keep pitching. Gets them out of the woods yet again as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning here from Cutchess Lumber Baseball Complex. 7-1. Bombers on top after Sean Kelly gets out of a jam in the bottom of the frame with a clean 6-4-3 double play. And here in the bottom of the frame, it'll be 4-5-6 due up for Ithaca, starting with Matt Fabian against a new pitcher, Logan Pizzullo. As the first pitch to Fabian is a fastball in the dirt. Pizzullo, the junior, was a big piece out of the Elmira bullpen last season, but has had some struggles to start off this year. Pitching in 2 outings, 2/3 of an inning total, as the 1-0 to Fabian is lifted into deep right field. Ranging back is Salvetti in front of the warning track. He settles under it to make the play for out number 1. To bring up Colin Shishati. But 6 total earned runs on 3 hits. The problem is the 5 walks in that span for Pizzullo from Croydon, Pennsylvania. The lefty kicks and fires first pitch to Shishati. He is a breaking ball low and away. Shishati with the RBI single in the 5th inning, which sparked a rally. 3 runs eventually coming into score in the 5th for Ithaca. As the 1-0 is fouled behind home plate, heads up, out of play. And 1-1. Ricocheting off the backstop behind home plate to where we're settled. Is the 1-1 a breaking ball low and away. And it goes 2-1 on Shishati. 1 for 3 in total on the day. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Loopy curveball from Pizzullo. Sits in the air for a while. And here's the 2-2. Goes right back to it. And that one low and away. So the count goes full. Slow curveball that initially cost Shishati off balance. Now with 1 out, here's the payoff. It's a fastball in the dirt for ball 4. Shishati's second time reaching base today comes via the walk. 3rd time today that he's worked a count full. Talked about earlier, the on-base percentage over 500 last season for Shishati, and we've seen why over the course of this game with a few very strong at-bats as Camden Laney digs into the lefty batter's box with a tall open stance. Here's the first pitch. It's an off-speed called a strike. At the top of the zone, it goes 0-1. Laney getting his first start for Ithaca, and he's come out to play. 2 for 3 with a RBI double and a triple so far in the lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 0-1. Runner off on the pitch. It's grounded through the right side of the infield. The hit and run pays off. Shishati routing second on his way to third. He goes first to third on the hit and run, and a very nice piece of hitting by Laney. His 3rd hit of the day squeaks through the right side of the infield. And runners on the corners for Tyler Puglisi. An RBI in the form of a sac fly in the 5th and a single on the day for Puglisi. And still good speed on first base with Laney, with Shishati, and great speed off of 3rd. We'll see if Laney's off on anything against the southpaw and Pizzullo. Here's the 0-1. Foul behind home plate, over the fencing and out of play. In the grass area between the 4 fields here at the Gutchess Lumber Complex. As Pizzullo sets with runners on first and third and delivers. 0-1. Breaking ball just outside. Evens it up at 1. With 1 out and runners on the corners. It's Laney off of first. Shishati off of third after the single on a hit and run. Moved Shishati all the way over 90 feet away. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball low. Puglisi took the bat off his shoulder, almost offered at it. Holds up, and count goes 2-1. In another prime scoring opportunity for Ithaca, leading 7-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Pizzullo sets, picks over at first, and delivers. 2-1. Big swing and a miss on the off speed Goes even at 2. Puglisi, the righty, waves his bat. Towards the ears with an open stance. 2-2. Off speed, fouled behind home plate. Now to play. Stays alive on that slow curveball out of the hand of Pizzullo. He's had the confidence to throw it late in a lot of counts. With runners on first and third. Here comes another 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Goes back to that curveball. And the count goes full. Already walked one in the inning. And a big 3-2 pitch coming. Here's the 3-2. Fastball up and out, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning, allowed by Pizzullo in relief. And now the base is juiced. Puglisi off first, Laney off second, Shishatti off of third for Ethan Rothstein. He's already homered on the day. Here's the first pitch. This one drilled out to deep center field. Bolt ranging back towards the warning track, makes the play, leaping in front of the wall. Tagging from third to Shishatti. He'll get there easily. Scurrying from second to third is Laney. He's there standing up without a throw. So the sac fly, another RBI in the day for Ethan Rothstein. And 8-1 the score. Bombers on top by 7 runs now. Shishatti scores his second run of the game. And still runners on first and third for McDonough, who's 2 for 2. McDonough against the southpaw. Pizzullo, who kicks and deals first pitch, breaking ball up and away. McDonough singled and scored in the 6th. Pair of singles on the day for the senior second baseman. Hitting the 9th spot for Ithaca today. And he's the 1-0. He is chopped on the left side of the infield. Backhanded, and that'll squeak through, rather. The shortstop, Warden, tried to backhand it, squeaks through the infield. Scoring is Laney from third base. Another run on the board for Ithaca. 9-1, Bombers lead. And they'll call it a single through the left side. As the first pitch is lined up the middle for a base hit off the bat of Feeney. Rounding third on his way home is Puglisi. He'll score standing up in at second base with a dive. Colin Feeney. RBI double. Bombers with a double-digit score, 10-1. And Feeney with his first hit of the game, snapping an 0 for 14 skid. So a much-needed RBI double there for Feeney. And 3 runs across in the inning, and a new pitcher on the way for Elmira. We'll see who it is, if he can escape the jam with a runner on second and 2 outs when we come back. Kyle Tubbs is the new pitcher on the mound for Elmira, a 3.60 ERA in 3 appearances out of the bullpen this season. He enters with 2 outs and runners on second and third, and the 2-man Louis Fabo at the plate for the Bombers. With Feeney off second, McDonough off at third. First pitch to Fabo was a breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. 5 total innings over 3 outings with 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts out of the bullpen for Tubbs, the senior from Wyckoff, New Jersey. The righty kicks and fires. 0-1. Breaking ball just upstairs. Last through on Sunday in a perfect inning against Cortland, the number 17 team in the nation. 1 strikeout in that outing. Entering with a tough situation. 2 runners in scoring position. Bombers on top 10-1 as the 1-1 of Fabo. Breaking ball called strike on the outside corner. And it goes 1-2. Fabo hitless on the day. He did have a sac fly back in the 6th for his team-leading 6th RBI of the year. As Tubbs peers over at second, looks at third. Now fires home the 1-2. This one laced out to left center field. On his chase is Bolt, and he makes the play, tracking it down in deep left center field. Runs a long way to prevent extra bases and more runs on the board for the Bombers after Fabo gives it a ride. So 2 runners left on base after an inning where 3 runs came in for the Bombers on 3 hits. We'll head to the 8th, 10-1. Ithaca leads. 3 dominant innings for Sean Kelly in relief. His day is done as Bo Nicholson, the right-hander, takes the ball, and he will face 7-8-9 due up in the Elmira order. First pitch, a fastball low, and it'll start with a pinch hitter for Elmira as the first pitch is low. It's Chris Jones, the junior infielder from Wilton, Connecticut, as the 1-0. Fastball in the dirt, goes 2-0. He'll take out Nathan Ofault in left field. Ofault 1 for 3 with an RBI single, bringing home Elmira's sole run of the day as they trail 10-1 here in the top of the 8th. As Nicholson's 2-0, fastball swing and a miss. Towards the heels of Jones. As Nicholson's 2-1 in the dirt, goes 3-1. Nicholson making his first appearance of the season after he pitched in 8 games last year. Here's the 3-1, swing and a miss. Count goes full. Eight in the third innings last year with 10 runs allowed, 5 punch outs for Nicholson. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the inside corner, waved at and missed by Jones. Strike 3, 1 batter faced in relief for Nicholson. And 1 punch out. And we'll see another pinch hitter for Elmira. It'll be Sean Diener, the sophomore infielder from Aberdeen, Maryland, digging into the lefty's batter's box. First pitch he sees, fastball inside. Goes 1-0 on the 6', 220 lefty. Infielder for the Soaring Eagles as he takes a fastball outside. Count goes 2-0. After the first strikeout for Nicholson, now 8 punch outs on the day for Ithaca's staff through 7 1/3. First 6 being racked up by Picozzi, who got the start. Here's a fastball low, makes it 3-0. Here comes the 3-0 from Nicholson. Fastball in the dirt. And a 4-pitch walk to Diener. And his pinch hit at bat brings up Jacob Parker. With a runner on first and 1 out. After Nicholson struck out the first batter he faced, walked the second. Nicholson struck out 5 last year, also walked 5 in 8 1/3. Here's the first pitch. Rope down the right field line, foul. That'll take a hop towards the Elmira bullpen, which jets out just to the right of the foul pole down the right field line. And the count 0-1 on Parker, who's 0 for 3 on the day. As Nicholson sets, peers over to first base at Diener. And out comes home. Big breaking ball, swung on and missed. Count goes 0-2. Slider shape on a big pitch from Nicholson, who throws from a 3/4 arm slot at 6'4". Lot of deception in his delivery as the 0-2. Breaking ball again. There it is. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Parker swings over the slider at the bottom of the zone. 2 outs, both via the punchy for Nicholson. And that brings up Fellows. 0 for 3, struck out in his last at-bat against Kelly. And he waves and misses at the first pitch. Fastball low in the zone. Goes 0-1. As Nicholson sets. Fires. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, 0-2. 2 punch outs in the inning. Looking to work around that 1-out walk with Diener off first. Nicholson sets. Peers over to first. At the belt. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Puglisi skips away from him, and it'll go all the way to the backstop. So running to second base is Diener there without a throw. On the pass ball, it goes 1-2. As Puglisi couldn't corral it. Nicholson peers over to second now. As Diener dances off the bag. 1-2. Chopped on the left side of the infield and foul. Just to the left of the third base bag. Rolling all the way down the line towards the foul pole. And we'll do the 1-2 again. Fellows, the Herkimer Community College transfer. With a 1-2 count, runner on second base. 10-1, Ithaca on top. Here in the 8th. The 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Checked his swing. Didn't go around. Blocked by Puglisi, who keeps it in front of his body. A few dribbles down the first base side, but not nearly far enough for Diener to advance. Now even at 2. Here comes Nicholson's 2-2. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3 punch-outs in the inning for Nicholson. And now 11 punchies on the day for this Ithaca squad. 10-1, Bombers lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Back in the bottom of the 8th, a 10-1 lead for the Bombers against the Soaring Eagles of Elmira College. Ithaca looking for their 3rd straight win. New pitcher on the mound for the Soaring Eagles. Coming in relief, it will be Luke Kraft, the righty from Athens, Pennsylvania, and he'll face a new batter into the 3 spot for the Ithaca Orioles. Nate Rodriguez getting a pinch hit opportunity. First pitch, a breaking ball out of the hand of the righty Kraft. Low and away to the righty in Rodriguez to make it 1-0. As here comes the 1-0 from Kraft, breaking ball low and away. Kraft pitching in his 3rd game of the season. allowing 1 run in his last outing. There's a 2-0. He's a breaking ball called a strike on the outside corner. That came against Albright. It's the sole run he's allowed in 2 1/3 on the season. For Rodriguez, he's getting his second at-bat of the season after a pinch hit appearance for Mount St. Vincent on Sunday. There's the 2-1. Fastball in there for a called strike. Clips the top of the zone towards the outer third. Rodriguez had a pinch hit RBI single versus Mount St. Vincent on Sunday in Game 1 of the doubleheader out in Long Island. Fastball in the dirt, 2-2. Count goes full now on Rodriguez. Here it is. Breaking ball just outside for ball 4. Rodriguez works the walk against Kraft. And puts a runner on first base to lead it off here in the 8th. In the bottom of the frame. And Matt Fabian now digs in from the right side. First pitch he sees is skied out towards right field. Salvetti settles under it, takes a few steps in and tracks it down on a can of corn for out number 1. And we'll see another pinch hitter here for Ithaca. It'll be Luca Pipia, the freshman, in for Shishati. Pipia, the right-handed hitter, freshman from Dix Hills, New York. As Kraft sets and delivers, first pitch breaking ball in the dirt. Pipia got 1 pinch hit at bat against Mount St. Vincent and walked in that one on Sunday. Here he is with a runner on first and 1 out. That runner is Rodriguez, who walked. He lines this one into left field. That's a base hit. Rodriguez moves up to second on the Sing-I single through the left side for Pipia, his first college hit. And there's runners on first and second with 1 out for the Bombers. And that'll bring up Camden Laney, the freshman, who's had a great day in the batter's box. 3 for 4. He's right now a homer shy of the cycle with an RBI. Breaking ball low and away on the first pitch out of the hand of Kraft. Laney tripled and scored in the second. RBI double in the 5th. Single and a run scored in the 7th. Quite a performance for the freshman in his first start. Here's the 1-0. It's fouled back to the fencing behind home plate. Goes 1-1. Laney, the sole freshman that's even gotten a start this year in the batting order for Ithaca. With a tall open stance in the lefty's batter's box. Here's the 1-1. Off speed just outside. As Kraft sets, peers over to second base at Rodriguez and delivers the 2-1. This one's skied into shallow left center. Ranging out is the shortstop and Warden, and he'll track it down to make the play. Calling off Ofault, the left fielder. And that's out number 2, only the second time today that Laney is retired. And Puglisi will step up. Laney, a homer shy of the cycle. In all likelihood, that's how he finishes today. Puglisi was a homer shy of the cycle on Sunday versus Mount St. Vincent. First pitch he sees, fastball inside. And it goes 1-0. On the D1 transfer from UAlbany in his junior season. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss from Puglisi. And here's the 1-1. Breaking ball low and away. Count goes 2-1. Puglisi, the catcher from Yorktown Heights, New York. Played 2 seasons at UAlbany. Played in 20 games with 4 starts for the Great Danes. Here's the 2-1. Driven foul down the right field line. Beyond the Soaring Eagles dugout and out of play. Stays even at 2. Puglisi last year actually hit a pinch hit homer versus the University of Maryland in College Park. Here's the 2-2. Chopped on the left side of the infield. It's the third baseman, Jimenez, who will race to the third base bag. He'll apply the tag on Rodriguez before he can get there to end the inning. 2 runners left on. 1 hit in the inning for Ithaca, who leads 10-1. 3 outs left for the Bombers bullpen as we head to the top of the 9th on Bomber Sports. Top of the 9th, 3 outs left for the Bombers bullpen to make it 3 straight wins for Ithaca, and they bring in another arm from the bullpen. It's Connor Burns, the sophomore, who's thrown 1 inning on the season, through the ninth inning against Case Western in the first game of the season. First pitch, a fastball and a swing and a miss on the inside part of the zone to a pinch hitter in the box for Elmira, Brady Butis. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball just upstairs this time and up towards the hands, makes it 1-1. Burns didn't appear in a game last season, but has already had a strong impact out of the bullpen for the Bombers in his sophomore campaign as the 1-1 fouled down the right field line and out of play over the Elmira dugout. You have to go with a 10-1 lead, highlighted by a 3-for-4 day at the plate, 3-for-5 I should say, with 2 runs scored and an RBI, following a triple shy of the cycle. Camden Laney is the 1-2 breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Butis goes down swinging. Another strikeout on the day for the Ithaca pitching staff, who in total today has now racked up 12 punch-outs against the Elmira offense in now 8 1/3 of work, as Brett Warden digs in from the right-handed batter's box. The righty Burns kicks and fires, breaking ball low and away. Warden has a pair of singles on the day, reaching base actually all 4 times to the plate. A fielder's choice and hit by pitch in addition to that, as Burns 1-0. Skied right side of the infield and foul. That'll make it out of play beyond the bullpen down the right field line. And the count goes 1-1. And we got to talk before this ball game ends about Jack Picozzi. 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts in his first outing at the collegiate level, getting the start today for Ithaca, and he dealt. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Puglisi, 1-2. Bombers with 13 hits, 10 runs scored on offense, only striking out 3 times as a team today. As the 1-2, breaking ball fouled back behind home plate, stays right there. Burns closes the door on Nicholson's sole inning of work, where he walked 1 but struck out 3. Picozzi struck out 7. Kelly 1 in his 2 innings, 3 for Nicholson in his inning of work. As here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make it 13 punch-outs for the Bombers pitching staff. And 2 through 2 batters for Burns. He's 1 out away from shutting the door. The last 5 outs that the Bombers pitching staff has gotten have been via the chair. Here's Eric Charnetsky with 2 outs. First pitch, fastball low and away. 1 out away from the Bombers making it 3 straight wins after they lost their first 2 down in Pittsburgh against Mount Union and Case Western. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball low and away. Charnetsky 1 for 4 on the day with a single and a run scored back in the 3rd. One of only 5 hits for Elmira's offense on the day. Here's the 2-0. Fastball upstairs, and it's 3-0. Ithaca's pitching staff has only issued 1 walk since the 5th inning. As the 3-0. Fastball called a strike down Broadway. So Burns gets 1 back. Here comes the 3-1. Fastball line foul down the left field line. Skipping all the way towards the corner. 3-2. And a full count, 1 pitch away from victory are the Bombers. (3-2), 2 outs. Bombers lead 10-1 here in the top of the 9th. 1 pitch away from victory. Here's the payoff from Burns. Ground on the left side of the infield. Backhanded by the shortstop Rothstein. Throws across the diamond. Not in time. Took a long path to the baseball in the 6-hole on the slow chopper. Already didn't have a lot of time. And then threw the ball on 1 hop to first base to Laney. who picked it, but just behind the speed for Charnetsky, who gets himself his second hit of the day on an infield single, sixth of the day for Elmira. And Salvetti into the righty's batter's box, first pitch upstairs. Salvetti's reached on a pair of walks and a single. The right fielder in his 7th game of the season for Elmira. Here's the 1-0, fastball low. Out of the hand of Burns in his second collegiate outing. Only threw 10 pitches in a shutout inning versus Case Western last time. Here's the 2-0. Fastball nub foul over the Elmira dugout on the first base side. Here at Gutchess Lumber Complex. Ithaca playing as the home team in what's technically a mutual site game between these two teams is Freeman Field on the South Hill, not dry enough yet to play baseball at. Bombers have a couple weeks until their first home game, and it's the 2-1 right down Broadway for a call strike. Ithaca will hit the road for their Lexington, South Carolina spring break trip next week before hosting Clarkson March 22nd and 23rd at Freeman Field. As the 2-2 foul down the right field line and out of play the at-bat and the game extend. So 3 straight games at home after spring break for Ithaca as Liberty League play kicks off against Clarkson. Then they'll see Brockport, St. Lawrence, St. John Fisher, a whole lot of tough opponents down the stretch. We have 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball low and away. And the count goes full yet again. Ithaca facing some tough out-of-conference opponents, including Hamilton, St. John Fisher, Oswego State, and Scranton down the stretch. As the 3-2 is pop foul, and will hit the ground first before bouncing into the glove of Puglisi. Count stays 3-2. Burns already with 2 punch-outs in the inning. Here's the 3-2. Sky-high fly ball just in front of home plate. The catcher, Burns, calls everyone off and makes the play to clinch the Bomber victory. 10-1, Ithaca takes down Elmira. 3 straight wins for the Bombers as Burns comes in and gets the final 3 on 2 punch-outs. And we talked about it, but what a day for the Ithaca pitching staff. In 9 total innings of work, 13 strikeouts to only 4 walks, 1 run, only 6 hits allowed. 2 strikeouts for Burns, 3 for Nicholson, 1 for Kelly, 7 for Picozzi, and 5 dominant innings of 1-run ball to get the start in his first collegiate outing. Ithaca takes this one, and as we mentioned, they'll be hitting the road for their spring break trip starting on Sunday against Arcadia. A lot of tough opponents there, playing 7 games in 7 days, and then they'll head home. The next time we'll have a broadcast for you on Bomber Sports will be that Friday, March 22nd against Clarkson, the home opener against Clarkson at Freeman Field. So make sure to come back then, but this will sign off today's broadcast. Again, a 10-1 win for Ithaca to move to 4-2 on the season. Elmira drops to 4-4. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been Eli Fishman. Have a great rest of your afternoon.